Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to another episode of Mindful LCA. Today, we in the mood for some sadness, for some struggles. We're
Here,
gonna,
let me turn it blue.
we're gonna, we're gonna talk. One of the feedbacks we got that might be help people is to talk about actual struggles as they're happening. But we understand it might be hard for the audience or anybody to want to share it. So, what we can control it, what we can do is talk about our own struggles and what we're working at to show you to be more human and not to just give you solutions, not to just
To
be
be
like
more
people
human.
to do all that. So yeah, today we're gonna talk about that specifically. Norma struggling. Talk to me.
Me? Just me?
Yeah, you struggled. You wanted to talk about it. I suggested it. You said I'm struggling, and then I said, okay, cool, let's do it.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be a share thing, but okay.
I'm not. I have my shit too, but I mean,
um. Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to eat as we do this. Like, I don't have an appetite, but I do need to eat. Um. I don't. I wish that I could pinpoint what it is. And this is one of the things why I wanted to talk about it, right? Because when we sit here and we're talking about like mental health and just like have that awareness and do the thing, like it's really difficult when you are in the middle of it to
Mhm.
like actually like pinpoint like what the fuck is even going on. Like, just this whole week has been really difficult for me. And I cannot pinpoint what it is. I legit cannot. um as I've been bragging about it, I'm training for a race. So I need to like run a lot, and I have not been able. I've ran, but at night. I've been wanting to run in the mornings, and just getting out of bed has been a hassle. Legit, like if we didn't have to record today, I would probably still be in bed right now.
Hmm.
Like, I don't want to get out of bed. I legit don't want to get out of bed. Like this morning I told myself, okay, like I'm gonna run. Today we're gonna run in the morning. Um and I woke up and I'm like, I don't want to. I don't want to. I like need to pee in the middle of the night, and I literally tell myself, I don't want to. I don't want to leave the bed. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. Nothing, not one thing necessarily is going on. I think maybe a couple of things that I can attribute it to, but I'm guessing is like I spent some time with a loved one this past weekend, and they're struggling with stuff too. So I'm wondering of like, okay, maybe um, exerting that energy might have drained me a bit with with clients specifically. Like, my caseload is pretty low right now. So now that I'm struggling financially, thank God I've like uh, planned for that. But it's still like, oh my God, like my caseload is not where I want it to be. I don't know. It almost feels like I'm not necessarily doing anything or working towards anything.
Hmm.
And I don't know what to do with that.
Hmm. Well, why do you have to be doing something?
I don't know. I legit don't know. I don't know.
You don't have to. I mean, you just have to exist. That's it. You don't have to achieve anything. I guess my question would be before in the stuff that you're struggling, have you noticed if it's physical or um like mental, emotional thing? Can you tell the difference when you're tired physically from that? Because let me ask you, have you ever trained for a marathon before?
No.
I mean, so then could it be that you're just physically fucking exhausted and you need a break? That's why your body's telling you to fuck off and not move? Or is it, do you feel like you have energy in your body but not like emotional or some other shit going on?
I think it's more emotional. I think it's more mental.
Okay.
I don't know. Like, and I think, like, which is dumb. It's really dumb. Okay, I don't want to say that either, but it, even though I'm training for a race, even though, like, I'm doing a lot of things, for some reason, it just feels like I'm not doing anything. Like, I'm not doing anything with life. It's weird. It's so weird. So I'm like, bitch, you're literally trained. Like, you have a goal. Like, you have a goal right now. You're working towards something, but it doesn't feel that way. So it's frustrating because I get really frustrated because I'm like, what do you want? Like, what do you want?
Hmm.
Like, I don't know how to slow down. I don't know how to slow down. That's very hard for me. So, like, I'm always like traveling. Like, almost every fucking weekend, I go somewhere. I was just in San Francisco. 3 weeks ago, I was with you. Next weekend, next week, I'm going to be in San Francisco again. Like, I'm always doing something, but for some reason, it feels like I'm not doing anything with my life.
Okay, we'll go deeper into that. What do you think you should be doing?
And that's the frustrating part that I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know what I need. I don't know what I'm missing. I don't even think I'm missing anything. That's the thing. Like, I have good relationships with, like, the people that I'm close to. Like, I have really good connections with. Like, um, with my family, I'm okay. Like, financially, I'm okay. I don't I don't know. I don't know.
Hmm. Um, maybe with the running stuff, it's just that it's not fulfilling you in the way that you think it should fulfill you because it's not giving, like you're doing it and you're pushing yourself, but it's not fulfilling. It's not fulfilling to you. It's not a big deal, or it's not a thing that you want it to be. It's not as meaningful as maybe you thought it was going to be for you to challenge yourself to push yourself in that way. But I wouldn't feel, I mean, remember that we need more, right? We're capable of receiving more and wanting more, right? So I guess what I'm saying is that's not fulfilling you in the way that you need fulfillment because it's just fucking running to you. It could be a possibility that that's what it is. So you're trying to find it in that is maybe not coming because of that.
I don't, because even like the other day, like, I did some intervals, and my pace was pretty good. Um, like before, like when I would like my 9 out of 10 effort would be like a 9 minute mile pace,
Mhm.
but that's for like a sprint. Um,
Mhm.
and when I ran this time, like I have to do like 30 seconds, 9 out of 10, and then like recovery and whatever.
Mhm.
And I was able to hit like a 6 minute mile, which I've never fucking done before.
Mhm.
So I felt like really good after that run. The other day I ran 5 miles, and I was able to do it in under an hour. Usually when I run 5 miles, I do it over an hour. So I was able to do it under five. I mean under an hour, and still feel like really good. Like I paid attention to my breathing. Like I do notice myself getting better. And
Mhm.
I feel really proud of that. I feel really proud. Um just the fact that I run 6 days a week, like that makes me really proud because not many people do. Um so I'm like, okay. And I think like with running, it's a hate love relationship because for me, like I understand that I'm like training, but like the training is the part that I knew that the training wasn't going to be pretty, or that I was going to like enjoy it, or it's going to be fulfilling because you're not getting um well, let me get some tissue. But for when you play soccer, if you win the match, like you get a win. For any other sport, you get something at the end, right? Type of thing. Like you don't get that shit for running unless it's race day. Um, so I know that that fulfillment is not going to come from the training. Once I run the marathon and I finish that marathon, I know I'm gonna feel like I'm on top of the world because it's a it's something that I've wanted for 2 years now, like 2 or 3 years, saying like for my 35th birthday, I'm gonna run. Or not birthday, but like for my 35th year of life, I want to run a marathon. So it's something that I've been wanting for a while.
Mhm.
Um, but I think it goes even deeper than that. I don't think it's related to the training itself. I think it's just like I don't know why. This is gonna sound like a little catastrophic, but that's a little bit where I'm at, honestly. Like I feel like the life that I'm living is not a fulfilling life, even though it is.
Hmm.
There's nothing wrong. There's literally nothing wrong going on with my life. Like I said, my relationships are good. Financially, I am okay. I don't overwork myself. I do things that are fun for me. I don't fucking know. That's so frustrating, not knowing what's going on.
Hmm. It's not related to what you were feeling last time. The last time you were almost crying or crying before the episode. About you wanting somebody and needing somebody to be there with you.
Oh, wanting a partner?
Yeah.
No, no, because I I told you that I'm not exclusive with this person, but I do have somebody
Hmm.
um to an extent. Um so even that I
Okay.
I'm having that. I mean, I do crave like um a lifelong partner, like a long-term committed relationship. Not exclusively with one human, but at least with one human. So it is something that I'm craving, but I don't think that's like it's not weighing on me as much as it was
Mm. Before,
before.
where my mind is going afterwards is like, why are you rushing to not feel like this? Why don't just accept that this is where you're at and this is what you're feeling? Not try to give it any meaning, not trying to give it anything, not trying to give the shit, and just be like, well, over the last couple of days, I've been feeling like this. The last couple of weeks, or whatever it might be, this is what I'm feeling. And this is where I'm at. I'm just accepting that that's how you're feeling. Not trying to label it, not try to give it a thing. Just being like, this is where I'm at. This is what I'm feeling. This is the shit. This is partly what I kind of hear, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you're looking for something, you're pursuing something, or you want to live to a certain standard that you're not at yet. You have to figure out what it is, right? That's half the battle. But at the other time, it's just, well, just fucking accept that that's where you're at right now. You might not know it. Maybe with time, you'll find out what it is that you're missing. Because you're only adding frustration by trying to find it now, by trying to fucking have a solution now, by trying to be like, I don't know what it is. I mean, you're fucking looking everywhere to try to see what it is, right? So maybe just accepting and be like, this is where I'm at. I might not have the knowledge yet of what I need, of what is bothering me, or where's the lack of fulfillment coming from, or what is it that I need to do to feel fulfilled. But I'm just gonna accept that that's what it is right now. And with time, with more thing, I can look within myself and then find what it is that I'm missing, or find that thing for fulfillment. For
Yeah.
example, you mentioned part of who I am goes to, like, you mentioned that you can be at peace and you're always traveling. The steep approach is stay your ass home for a fucking week and not do for a weekend and not do shit, right? If you know that that's an issue, then don't fucking go. If you want to try that, don't schedule anything else anymore, and try that and see how that makes you feel, and deal with whatever the fuck that those feelings come up with you just being there. If you Because you're bringing it up as that you see that maybe as an issue, that there's something not okay with that, or try the opposite then and see how that makes you feel. Because you're very like I was telling you before, you're very interested in that shit, that like you're
And
just
what?
traveling and you do this shit and you go, like, you visit people all the time and you do all that, like I was telling you last time, I think it was off recording, that you just like to show up and do that stuff and be there and shit. It's cool, and like people are not used to it, but that's honestly, you're doing something, like I was telling you, that I think we should all be doing, right? Like, you're doing the right thing by being so open and being so direct, being making yourself available and being like, okay, you're my friend, okay, let's build a fucking relationship, I'll continue to go to this shit. um yeah, I don't know, I don't want to, I mean, there's a whatever the fuck it could be, but like I'm telling you, maybe that's not even the point. Just accept it. Maybe just be like, this is where I'm at and this is how I feel, and I might not know what it is that I need, what I have, or whatever. Because what my mom went to is like, are you getting that back? Do you feel like you're getting that back?
Not as much, honestly. Like, um, that is one of the reasons why I'm like, I need to I need to stop. I don't need to, but I'm like, it. Don't get me wrong. Like, going to see the people that I love, like, it's it's fulfilling. Like, that's how my cup gets filled, by um spending time with people.
Hmm.
And a lot of the time, like, it is me traveling to people. It is me like making the way to people. But and maybe that's where it all stems from. Even my grandma, like with my other siblings, my grandma will be like, "Oh, let's. How is this sibling doing? How is the other sibling doing?" And then I ask her, I'm like, "How come you never ask how I'm doing?" And she tells me, "Porque yo sé que tú puedes con todo."
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
I think it stems from that of like I'm such a good caretaker, but nobody takes care of me.
Well, in
Nobody.
that case, it is the same shit that you were struggling with last time.
Yeah,
'Cause those were your exact words, right?
yeah.
Wanting to be taken care of or wanting to be felt like that.
And again, like it's not because I don't care about people, I don't care about my friends. Like I do. I do care about like it's important for me to foster relationships because I thrive off of relationships. But rarely except for maybe like one friend from Mexico who intentionally two friends from Mexico who intentionally will text me and say like, "Hey, how are you? How are you doing?"
Hmm.
Most of the time it's me checking in on people.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
hard because people
Yeah.
see me and they perceive me as this like independent human who is able to do shit by herself, who has had to learn to be okay being by herself. And I'm okay with it. Like I am okay with doing shit alone. But sometimes I do crave that like somebody to like look at me and be like, "How are you? How are you doing? Where are
Yeah.
you struggling?" And
Yeah.
nobody does. Not nobody. That's
Mm,
catastrophizing.
mm,
Not
yeah.
many people do. That's
Let me
hard.
tell you why. Let me tell you why I don't do it. So maybe you get some feedback because I do it with other people. It's
Why
the
you don't do
perception.
what?
What I don't do because I do that with other people and I don't do it with you
The
because it's
checking
that.
in?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think and I think maybe people don't do that with me either for the same reason because we're so outspoken and we seem to know what the fuck we're doing when it comes to this and we can give advice that people forget that we need that shit too. You get me? So in my mind, you don't cross my mind as somebody to check in, and I will now because we I know that you got it. I know that you figure it out. I know that I understand. I know that you're ahead on the road. I know in the shit. That is the perspective, right? That's the perspective because you've done all this work, you put in all this work, you're telling people what the fuck to do, and we're doing that shit, then then therefore they don't think about us in that way. Because I mean, like I'm jealous of the friendships that you have and the ability of people that tell you how the fuck you're doing and all that stuff. I don't think nobody has ever texted me in my fucking life how the fuck I'm doing.
Okay.
Nobody has just randomly out of their fucking mind has just been like, "Hey, I'm just calling you or I'm just messaging you to see how the fuck you're doing." Like nobody has done that, right? But then I think when we put this version of ourselves out there for the world to be able to help and to give advice, people just assume that we don't struggle. People just assume that we don't need it, that we just all that, which is the purpose of the. It's coming beautifully. The purpose of this episode, right? To see that we still are the patients instead of the therapy givers, right? We still need that part. We still are the patients. We still need to be taken care of and all that. Just because I'm able to help you doesn't mean I don't need the help and I don't need that support, you know? And I, honestly, that's what I'm telling you. When you said that, and I was like, well, why the fuck I don't check in with you? That's because of that thing, you know? Just assuming, and I never went past maybe that thought. It was just something that was came and went easily. Oh no, she got it. She'll figure it out,
I
you
mean,
know?
I will.
Yeah, but it's not that's not the point. The point is that it's because we put ourselves out there as people that know what the fuck they're doing. So then people assume like, oh, they must have it figured out already. They'll figure it out or they know what the fuck they're doing. So how can I help that I don't fucking know anything help her? When in reality it's so basic, right? We just need the love and we just need the
Yeah.
fucking time and the ear and that's it. We
Yeah.
don't need advice, we don't need shit, we don't need anything. And that's where I think it gets lost because at the end of the day that's what the fuck you do as a therapist and that's what I do as a coach and that's what I do as a father is just give the fucking love and the fucking ear and that's it. And that's
Mhm.
all we need. That's
Mhm.
literally all we need, you know?
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be all this fancy shit. You don't need to know the terms. You don't need to know what the fuck anything is. You just need to give love and be there for somebody and that's all that it is, you know? That's
Yeah.
literally what everything is at the end of the day and everything that we're showing and that we talk about and that we teach how we move. But no, don't judge them because that's where it's coming from, right? How the fuck can I do something for you that you do for other people and you're the one that studies all this shit? How the fuck can I help you? I'm not even sure how the fuck I would help you. Because think about it, it's like, how do you help? It's like your therapist coming to you for help. You're like, what the fuck do I do? How the fuck I have the pressure of doing that? Because honestly, I'm learning a lot through you, and I feel the pressure to do the right thing when you're around when we have guests because I'm like, am I knowing what the fuck I supposed to be doing? Am I saying the right thing? Like, is this gonna be a mistake? Am I doing that because she knows what the fuck she's doing? So maybe I need to be more careful with what I say, or how can I give the right advice versus what she's gonna say? And I pay attention and I'm looking at the things that you say. So you're helping me grow and understand the shit that I need to improve on based on how you move and how you do that. But then it also creates a little bit of pressure to be like, oh, okay, shit, I don't want to like fuck up or should I say something or like, you know what I mean? Like, how could I be like, I'm just that. So there is a level of insecurity that comes from the help that I can provide versus the shit that you can provide because of because of your title, because of what you do, because of the shit. You get me?
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
still there.
and that's what we were talking about like earlier, right? On the why I get so nervous when we are doing educational episodes, when we're like, let's talk about depression, let's talk about anxiety.
Mhm.
Because it's like, oh, now I have the expert hat on and I'm supposed to know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So then
Yeah.
there is that pressure. Um and I appreciate you saying that, like, um because of that title, there's like a certain like you looking up to me to like say the right thing and stuff. I really do appreciate that. Thank you for that. um and at the same time, like, we're gonna fuck up. I fucked up yesterday with a client where she disclosed something to me, and my reaction was like, oh, like it was a bad reaction. When I'm like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you haven't done this since yesterday, like a basic need. And she like looked at me and she like went like this, and I'm like, oh shit. um and she told me like I'm tensing up, and I'm like, okay, what just happened? And she's like, well, I hadn't shared that because of like the fear of judgment, and that's a little bit of like what's coming up right now. I'm like, fuck. But that wasn't my intention. My intention was more of like, oh shit, like there's a basic need that hasn't been met, so I'm concerned for you, I'm concerned about you, like how do we make sure we get that need met?
Mhm.
But it wasn't how it came across, right? Like I didn't have the right reaction. I ruptured my relationship with her. Um, so you're going to fuck up.
Yeah.
You're going to fuck up. So when you fuck up, then we repair. And I try to repair, and I'm like, that was a shitty response, and I am so sorry for that. I will do better next time. And let me tell you what my intention was behind that. Um, but it doesn't have to make your emotion or your feelings go away. Like I had a shitty reaction. I will do better. Um, so so you're gonna say the wrong things. You will. There is no expectation as to like how to like show up. Um, you just learn from it.
Yeah. You just want to make sure that as much as you're talking to me, you're talking to yourself, right? I don't know who that was intended to, but if it wasn't intended for yourself, then remember that and tell yourself that when you struggle so much with the mistakes or the comments or whatever the fuck it might be. Give yourself the same grace and the same understanding.
You can go fuck off right now. Yeah.
Right? You told me the exact same thing that you need to hear yourself. Replay that shit, go back into 31 minutes and 30 seconds and rewind that shit and listen to you telling yourself. Because I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure if you're telling me or you're telling yourself, but it seems like you weren't telling yourself.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't. And I
The same
think like
thing.
it goes back to like having this pressure of needing to have my shit together to know what to say, to be the expert, to have shit figured out.
Mm, no.
And I think like while it's flattering to have people look up to you, it's also like no pressure. Um, but
That's a society issue though at the same time because we forget that we're fucking humans. The whole cancel fucking culture and all this shit. People can make mistakes and you can't say one thing and now your whole life is a piece of shit because of a mistake that you made and now you deserve to not be given the time of day from anybody because of some shit that you said and a mistake that you made. That's like a big societal issue too that we see for that.
yeah.
But remember what we talked about in the video that I sent you is just about we're doing our best and have the awareness that we're gonna fuck up. And nobody should be held to the standards of perfection, and you should understand that from anybody, right? Once you open up your mind to that understanding, that's what I'm able to say. Anybody can make mistakes. Like the title of a priest doesn't mean I have to give you all my respect, motherfucker. Just because you're a priest, you're still a human, a nurse, a doctor, the fucking pope, a lawyer, whoever we think is of high status. They're still humans. And
Yeah.
people often get blinded by the title and give them all their trust and all the thing and everything when shouldn't be. You're still a human, no matter what the fuck it is. And that's freeing. It allows you to make mistakes and all that stuff. But this podcast and this shit that we're doing is just where we're at right now.
Yeah.
That's it. There's no pressure for that. Um, I have a take in the one conversation that we had off air, and I don't know if you want to keep it off the air and I can cut it off afterwards.
What?
Um, we can make a decision that after that.
Okay.
From the perspective, just to show you where I'm at and to show you the what I think is the other side of maybe what you're doing, um, and spending energy and so much energy in multiple people, right? With the whole thing of multiple partners or all that stuff and anything.
Uh-huh. You're talking about polyamory?
Yeah, the one
Uh,
conversation we had last time. Because it seems like, from my
which
perspective, if I'm understanding it correctly, you're asking for two polar opposite things. In my perspective, you're never gonna build what you're looking for in a person by having multiple people to be around with. I wouldn't have built a relationship with Celia if there was somebody else that takes percentage of it, because I'm removing that part of it with her. If I start saying, well, like, oh, I can get some kind of other things with somebody else, I can get this from somebody else, and I can do that stuff. I don't see how you would build with one person that intimate, deep, truly emotionally fucking connection that you can build with that stuff. So I'm looking at your behavior and also what you say you need, and I can't comprehend how you get those two things. How can you develop such a the connection that you need to fill your cup, the shit you need for yourself? I don't know how you can have that with while juggling multiple people, because I don't know how you build that, because it's tough to build it with one person on such a deep emotional level where there's a connection between me and her, that we fucking know everything, and we have this connection that was built over the years with a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and fucking a lot of conversations, a lot of sadness, that creates a unity to a level that I don't have with anybody in the fucking world. And I think you crave something like that. You want some connection like that. And I'm just like, well, how do you do that? How can you do that while at the same time saying, well, I'm okay with getting pieces or feeling other shit with other people, and it's okay to do that stuff? I have a hard time believing that you can do both. I don't see how those two things are possible at the same time. Because, like I said, when you start taking even the time that it takes, the time that it takes for you to have be with somebody else other than like your main person, you can say that's already removing time from that person. Regardless of what the fuck you're doing, you're removing time that you could be spending, that you could be doing, that you could be working on with that person. Right? Every time I criticize and I spend and I pay attention about somebody else and say they should be doing this, they should be doing that, I'm wasting time working on myself. I'm literally losing on myself when trying to change people and force them to do that. That's another perspective that helped me. So I just, like I said, and I'm always being able to be proved wrong or to say there's some other shit to it. I just can't comprehend even on the basic time. And I even thought about the wins and or the things that you gain and the things that you lose, right? That resonated with you with, I think it was Esteban.
With me, with Mike, with Miguel.
Oh, with Mike. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I forget their names. So even that was a thing that I was like, yeah, you're gaining a lot of things and you have this way of life and shit that you get. But what are you losing by that? If there's something to win and lose in any situation, what is the loss that you're having there?
I kind of, and I like, I posted on one of my stories not so long ago about it. Um, and I think with any relationship, whether it's romantic or not, there is going to be a loss, right? Because like if I um like right now I'm choosing to be here with you recording, so then that
Hmm.
means like all of my other relationships are not getting that time of day, right?
Hmm.
Um and right now that we are having this conversation, like it is a very like deep, meaningful, connecting conversation. Even
Hmm.
though we are recording it, it is these are the types of conversations that we have even off the air. So so I'm building every time that I, whether it's on a phone call or like I go to your house or we are recording, we are having deep meaningful conversations
Hmm.
that are making me have a stronger connection with you, have more
Hmm.
trust with you, like feeling like really connected with you and like your wife.
Hmm.
And just because I, sorry, my dog. Stop. No, stop. Um, just because I'm building this with you doesn't mean that there's no space for me to have that type of conversation and relationship with Esteban, with Mike, with my comadre. Um, So I do think that there is, like, yeah, I only have 24 hours in a day. Absolutely. We all do. So with choosing to have multiple friends, like, yeah, you're going to divide your time up with them, but
Hmm.
all of them, right? Because then maybe when I'm feeling some type of way, I don't have access to you, so then I can call Esteban, I can call Mike, I can call somebody else and still get that need met. So I don't think romantic relationships are any different. I don't believe that one specific human is going to be able to fill all your needs. I think that is very utopic.
Yeah.
Utopic. Am I saying that right? Um, it doesn't exist.
Yeah, yeah. No, well, of course, but also like I would still even to make that the same thing. Like you're right, and I don't think it's a black and white issue where there is none. It's just your partner and that's it, and there's nobody else. But also like maybe then if you want to see it that way, then ask yourself if you're closer to the other side. If you're spending time going to San Francisco every weekend, if you're coming to see me, if you're doing all that shit, then that's probably why you haven't developed a deeper connection with somebody else and the shit that you need to develop that protection and the same thing from that. Because where are you at? Where are you? Where is your home base at? Where is that safe place for you? Who is that safe person that you can go to at any time? Because everybody that you visit has that person. Everybody that you visit has that person. And that's why they don't travel. That's why we can't travel. We can't go see you all the time because we have our shit to take care of first. And you're plugging yourself in everywhere. But where's your home base at? Where is that main core person to you for you to go to that I have? That your other friends that visit to, every other person that you visit to, they do have that place. They have that relationship. They have that main thing that they go to. Because I think even if you were to say it was like, okay, I do you and have multiple shit and do whatever you want, wouldn't it make sense to build that first and then I find somebody else? Maybe like that. Like you can't find that unless you're seeing everybody as equal, and I'm not understanding that, and you can tell me that's what you mean. But if you want one main relationship and then have everybody else kind of plug in there in whatever way you want to, because this is it not is not a right assessment that everybody has their person, full-time person, you can say that everybody has their main person to go to. So therefore, if you're spending time with everybody that already has that, then you're not spending time with yourself and developing that relationship with that one person. Because I'm losing out. Like if you want to make that argument, I lose out because you have so many friends. I don't get to build a relationship with you because you have so many friends, because you don't come visit me every fucking weekend. So my relationship with you is losing. Your relationship with any other friends is losing because you have so many different friends. So therefore, our relationship is not as strong as if you only had me and two other people to talk to,
Yeah.
right? So there is a thing there for that. Um, it's just something that I was thinking about that I was like, I don't know if you realize or maybe that's what you want, but it's like wanting two different things, and I
I
still don't know
think
that because
I
I don't
think
have that because you say, oh, I can access you so I can reach somebody else. You don't do that with like a partner that you have a healthy relationship with. Celia will always fucking be there for me. No matter what time of day, no matter when it is, no matter what the stuff, she will be there for me, no matter what. Now, if I was in a more shaky, not so fully developed fucking relationship, then yeah, she might be like, oh, this person's not available for this kind of need or for this kind of thing, then I'm gonna go this way. Now, of course, it's not all the time, it's not black and white, but on most days, on most situations, on most topics, because we have such a strong relationship, there's no such a strong need for other people to fulfill it. And if there was, then I'll be like, okay, then I'll be more open to saying like, okay, yeah, but then this she can't do that shit, so I'm just gonna do that. Because that's then how you end up actually being with somebody else or fucking around or whatever, right? You find the needs that you're not getting somewhere. sometimes, and then you end up with somebody else.
I because I don't different people live polyamory differently. Like there's solo polyamory where like the most important relationship is yourself and you're not interested in having like a nesting partner or somebody that you like live with.
Hmm.
Where you have multiple partners but you then have like your own space. There are people that have like a nesting partner and then they have other partners
Okay.
on the side. And there are people that have polycules where they have multiple nesting partners in one household, um, where
Hmm.
we all like kind of like share space together.
Okay.
In my mind, I would want to have nesting partners, people that I like cohabitate with, and that we have, um, like it could we can either all of us be in a relationship or because then we have like the metamors where like you have a oh my god, what's the term? The hinge partner, I believe it is, which like I would have like this is my partner and this is my partner, but they're not partners. So I'm like the one that is
Yeah.
connected, both that connector part, um, but still live in like the same shared space. I think in my mind, like, do I want that safe space, that anchor, that home with a partner, with partners? Yeah, I do want that. And I think by you saying like, well, you're spending time going to people that already have that, then does that really give me time to actually work on getting a nesting partner? It doesn't. Like in reality, it doesn't, because that is as as much as it's something that I have been craving, I have been wanting, there's a part of me that's like really scared to actually go out there and like look for a partner, because I'm this is one of the times where I wish that I wasn't so aware of things.
I'm smiling because we got it.
What what did we get?
From my perspective, that's the conflict and that's the struggle maybe that you're having with. You want to find that, but you're still too afraid because of what happened.
I don't think I'm afraid of like what happened. Like
You
I'm
literally
not.
just said, "I'm afraid."
No, hold on. I'm afraid. Yes, I'm very
Uh-huh.
afraid.
Uh-huh.
I'm afraid because of the part of like asking for too much, wanting too much in a relationship. That's the part that I am afraid of.
That's literally what happened in the past of repeating the same thing. You're repeating of doing the same outcome of the shit and fearing yourself again from making the same mistake again and the relationship ending up how the other one ended. Is it not? You're afraid of being too much. So you're afraid to get brokenhearted again. You're afraid to hurt somebody else because of how you perceive that you were too much.
Mm, mm, yes and no. So I'm not necessarily afraid of like getting hurt and um it ending and all that stuff. Like I don't, that's not the part that I'm afraid of.
Okay.
Um the part that I'm afraid of is knowing that because of my awareness, because of now knowing what like I now have like a checklist, right? Like this person, like I don't care about their gender, their presentation, like I don't give a fuck what they look like. Like I legit don't. Um, but I do want somebody that is aware of like their wounds and that has actively worked on their wounds, whether that's therapy, spiritual stuff, like something, some that shows me that you have worked on your baggage. And not many people have that. Like from the fucking start, I'm not gonna find a lot of people like that. I
Hmm.
need somebody that has that emotional intelligence, that is able to show up very vulnerable with me and that I can do that with.
Sorry, I get too excited. Why do you have that list?
What do you
Why does that
mean?
list exist? Why does that list exist?
Because that is something
To
that I
to
need.
prevent you from getting hurt. You created that list not to be hurt.
It's not,
Yes,
I don't,
you have that thing to protect you. That list is there to protect you from getting hurt. You want somebody that has this, and that, so that you don't get hurt again.
I don't,
You
it's not
created
the
that
part.
list.
I'm okay with like, with getting hurt. That's the part where like I'm disagreeing with you, because I'm like, I
Yes, Why,
understand,
why does that list exist then?
so that I can have it, even with the possibility of it. Because even if I find that person, like
Hmm.
let's say like I can create this human,
Hmm.
even so I know that I'm going to be hurt. I'm going to get hurt like that. I'm not
Once
fighting that anymore.
again, maybe it's not black and white, and you understand that this you're getting hurt, but that list is there to protect you, to make it maybe not make it as easy from getting hurt, because yes, you're gonna get hurt regardless of if you're fucking whoever the fuck it is, whoever, as much as you make it, they'll be more complicated than that and you will get hurt. But that list is there to protect you from not getting hurt as easily, because you know that somebody that has the emotional intelligence that fits into your standards, into whatever you set up, is less likely to create pain for you. It's gonna be easier. You're gonna have a better relationship. I don't know. I don't know
A
how you
better
can.
relationship, yes. Like, what I'm looking for is that part of, like, I want a fulfilling relationship.
Yes.
I don't wanna be in a relationship where it feels like blah, where it feels like very, like, insipid, right?
Okay. How does blah mood mean to you? How would blah being in a blah relationship do to you?
I would walk away from it
Yeah. Why?
because it's
Because
not
I wouldn't make.
fulfilling.
Okay. And then what is the opposite of fucking fulfilling?
Why does it have to be, like, pain, though? Because that's what I'm saying, like, in in any relationship that I choose to be in, I'm going to be hurt.
But it is.
But
But
if
it is.
I
Yes.
know but
That's why
if
you
I
still. That's why there's a fucking an airbag on the car, and you still put on your fucking seatbelt. You're still you no matter. I don't know. Like, I understand maybe because you're gonna get hurt regardless of what the fuck whoever it is, right? I understand that because it's more intricate, and no matter who you're in a relationship with, you will get hurt at some point or another. So it's like you're saying, if I understand, I'm aware that there's gonna be issues and there's gonna be pain and I'm gonna get hurt. Yes, but this list is there to hope to minimize that fucking pain, to minimize that hurt, to protect myself from this not to happen. These are my requirements that I need, which is not fucking wrong. They're not wrong. But you want somebody to be understand you in every way and be all those things and check that list because you know what you want, because you know shit's not gonna work out if they don't have that shit. And what's gonna happen if they don't have that shit? It's gonna be a pain in the ass. It's gonna be something that is not enjoyable for you, and if it's not something joyful for you, then it's something that is hurting, that can cause pain, that doesn't fulfill you. So you have that there. That's for your own protection. That list
Sure,
is there to protect yourself.
sure. We'll
Mm-mm.
say yes.
Don't sure me because you're doing the opposite. Feel like I have to force you in the fucking thing to understand that you this little Norma's protecting herself to that fucking list. Okay, little Norma doesn't want to get hurt. Little Norma is fucking tired of this shit. She has standards. She's been through this shit. She said, "Hey, I'm not letting you into my fucking heart unless you feel this fucking things because I've been through enough. I know what the fuck I want and I know what the opposite fucking means. So this is the shit you have to fulfill for me to be able to even begin to wanting to do that." And the fear of not finding that is what has you locked up.
Yes. Yes. I'm agreeing with you.
I don't believe you.
Why not? I'm agreeing with you.
I don't know if this is Norma the therapist or Norma the friend. I don't know if this is my friend that's saying this fool's just pushing enough, so I'm just gonna fucking back down so he doesn't continue to push and just let it be already, or if this is literally me accepting it. I don't know which version. I don't know what the fuck is happening here.
I'm not a therapist right now. I'm
I know,
showing
but
up
I know
for
that you're
me.
aware. I didn't mean it like that, but I mean like I don't know if it's a genuine yes, I agree, or because sometimes I'm like okay, cool with people, and I'm just like yeah, fuck off, cool, I
No,
agree.
no, like I mean, I think there's still a part of me that wants to fight this. Like, no, it's not to get hurt because I know I'm going to be hurt in the relationship. Um. Okay. Okay. Let me see if I can. Maybe we're gonna circle back to the same thing. But I want something that's long lasting. It's not the pain that I'm running away from. It's show me that even when life gets painful, we're gonna stick it through.
Yes, it's the same shit. You can deny it a million times.
So
You
okay,
can
that's what
deny it a
that's
million
that's
times.
that's what I
You
said. Like
want it
maybe
long
we're gonna
lasting. You want
circle.
it, yeah. You want it long lasting because it's painful to be that the other one didn't turn out to what you wanted it to be. So now you even going there with the standard of being fucking longer to protect yourself again from the pain that you went through again of the other one not being long enough, not being what you want it to be. You're putting all those things, those requirements, so that it does have the higher hopes of being longer because it was so painful that the other one didn't fucking last long enough. Didn't last what you wanted,
Okay. Yes. I'm agreeing with you then.
right?
Yes.
That's what those there are for. So I'm happy when this happens. A lot of happy. You have no idea when I'm able to do this. So then we're not. You can have more empathy to our friend that hasn't moved on from the past, right? That is not willing to connect. That is not willing to do that because I'm seeing a correlation here of the same thing of similar pain not allowing us to create generation. I mean, not to create relationships, right? How we're struggling with that stuff. Like we still have work to do. You have work to do, and he has work to do on that ability to do that. Because
Oh,
in a way, you're protecting yourself, right?
yeah. They're also protecting themselves. Yeah.
Yeah. This is beautiful because there you go, motherfucking listeners. We're gonna put it out there exactly as it is, so you see how it works. It does
We
the
just had a
whole thing.
therapy session here.
Yeah, that's literally the thing. That is literally how it works. That's the fucking breakthrough in the shit. And now, as you see, if you guys are watching the video, now you gotta deal with that shit, right? That's the next step. Now you gotta figure out how painful that is and understand it and live with that shit and be like fuck. And then you gotta think about it and you gotta question it and you're gonna fucking cry and you're gonna do all this shit once that awareness that I was talking about in the other episode is expanded, is risen to be like, oh, this is why I'm struggling. This is why the thing. This is why I feel stuck.
I'm looking for a home. I'm craving a home.
Yeah, I'm happy we had this conversation
Me too.
because I know you. That's what I'm telling you. Well, the other thing is different, but I know that that's what you needed and that's what you've been craving in the last conversation. It's just that. De todas maneras, I'm still gonna fight you on the fact that even if you're the hinge and there's multiple people, there's still multiple shit to deal with. And I don't know how you would be able to cater to two people, even if it's just three. Somebody's missing out. Someone's getting a lesser version. If you are, let's just say, it's you and two other people living, and you want to have a relationship between the three of you, one person is gonna get a less version of you, no matter what the fuck it is. Somebody's losing out. Someone's getting less.
When I
Someone's
actually
getting
live
less.
it, I'll let you know because I haven't actually dated two people at the same time. Like I've had open relationships um where it's been like I have a primary partner and then an open relationship just like sexually with other humans, but I haven't actually like dated two people. So it's something that I would I want, but I haven't actually experienced. So if and when that happens, we'll come back to that conversation.
Yeah. Because I'm telling you from my perspective, one fucking person requires so much fucking work.
I know.
So much fucking work, an endless amount of work for you to go through over a stupid ass amount of time. And a lot of, like I was telling you, blood, sweat, and tears to set it up with one that I find it stupidly unbelievable that I can achieve that in a lifetime with two different people. Like if God forbid something happens to Celia, I'm not fucking getting in a relationship with nobody else. I'm afraid for the shit that you're going through to be like, God damn, to start all over. Nah, I'm good. I just fucking fuck around for my fucking physical needs with somebody else, but I don't want none of that shit. I don't want to start all over. Like that took so fucking long to understand that to get to this level. That's why I'm like, I don't from my perspective, I don't see how that's possible to
Yeah.
create such one really deep, really emotional, really conversation in relationship when you're immersing it with when there's multiple, or at least not even just multiple, like one more other person to
One more.
include in there. Estaría bien cabroncísimo based on just how complicated it is.
Yeah.
And even when you saw, even when that's the thing, even when you figure it out and you got it all together, you gotta water that fucking relationship.
You
Otherwise,
gotta
it goes.
what?
You gotta water it. You still gotta continue to pay attention to it. Like it
Absolutely.
will go to shit if you don't take care of it. So it's like a fucking. It's not like, oh, I painted the fucking house and I built it and we're good and now I'm gonna leave it the fuck alone. Like that shit's gonna fall apart. You need to constantly be paying attention to it. So then
Yeah,
I'm like,
but
I'm
you
just like,
knowing
how am I gonna go like this and the shit and like doing two things and shit?
but you know knowing that knowing me, like what you know about me is I can do that. I can do that. I am okay with putting energy and water people. Like I if I am able to do that with friendships, like without a fucking problem, without hesitation, I will do that in a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
100%.
But one of your partners is still gonna lose out on you. They're not getting the full version of you. No matter what, no matter how the fuck you want to put it,
Well, I don't know that
they're
there will
getting
be
even if
my
it
full
was just
version. I think in terms of time, yes, but at times in terms of like how I show up, like they're both gonna get the same Norma. It's just a matter of um like time.
yeah,
Like yeah, it's
it's
because
so
time is
complicated
finite.
because then so then I'm assuming this is all new information for me and things I've never thought about. So then are you assuming that there's no jealousy? You
Oh,
assuming that
there
there's
no,
no
there is
issues?
gonna be jealousy.
Well, then why the
Absolutely.
fuck would I want to multiply it when it's hard as fuck with one person? Like it's not also adding the good stuff. You're adding all this shitty part that you have to deal with. Nah, I'm good.
You don't
I'm good.
have to. You don't have to, which is
No,
why you're in a
I'm just
monogamous
saying.
relationship.
No, no, I know,
But
I
like
understand, but I'm
jealousy
just
is
like, no
going
matter.
to be part of it. It is stupid for you to think that jealousy is not going to
No,
be
no, no, I
in,
know.
in, in a relationship. Like
I know.
yes, it does
But if
show
it's
up.
hard with one person, I'm like, why the fuck would I want to deal with it with two? While on top of this shit of like that, it's just like it doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense to me for that in that way. There's too many negatives, and the way that I see it is one person is hard enough to build it with that. Why the fuck would I do that? It doesn't it doesn't sit with me. And I
Absolutely.
don't think yeah, I just don't think with multiple people I'll be able to have the uh such a strong relationship with one person, like a deep, intimate in every way, whatever it is, with one person. When there's multiple with that, but maybe you don't need that. Maybe other people don't need that shit, and they're fine with getting two 50/50s, 3 33% and all that shit, and that's cool because you get it with some people, and I guess that's cool. I just don't know how that fuck would work for me.
I don't know. I'll let you when it happens. I'll let you know when it happens.
Yeah. Yeah, because I wouldn't even take the risk.
That's
I
fair.
wouldn't. I wouldn't take the chance of a risk of anything fucking up what I've been working on for years. It's not even anything that would be like, nah, no matter what the fuck it is. But that's why we're all different people. That's the beauty of it.
Hmm.
But yeah. So now you have to work on your list.
I need to work on building a home, building a safety space for me.
Yeah, because that's why we don't that's why we don't check up on you. In honesty, right? I have so much shit to take care of myself and all these things and the stuff that I put out to once again not completely be it can sound as much as an asshole, but at the same time it's true. You're secondary to that.
Hmm.
So you're living around right now in secondary places. You follow and you go to that and you fit in secondary places to that,
Hmm.
right? Because we check in. I don't have to do that. Like I can get a split second because I see her and we have this shit and she'll always be there and the shit like that. That we have each other to see each other at any moment and shit like that. And we've built that shit.
Like a friend once told me, must be nice.
Yeah, yeah. Can't have your cake and eat it too. Just remember that too. Can't have your cake and eat it too. You those what right? What are my wins are your losses, and what are your wins are my losses. And I'm happy with the shit, and you gotta ask yourself if you're happy with the shit, and try to see if you can really what you want to do is have your cake and eat it too, and see if that's possible. Go figure that shit out.
Mm. I went on a dating singles and match, whatever the fuck it's called, like a little mingle for single people yesterday. Oh boy, it's gonna be a long fucking journey. It's gonna be a long journey.
Yeah,
Very long journey.
I had a friend once tell me when they got married that all he looked for was her ability to grow
Mm.
and her ability to change. He said, I dated her enough until I found out that she had the ability to grow and change and that we can get through anything together because that ability was there. So maybe you shouldn't look for the full list, right? And maybe just go with that. And once you find somebody that at least you can see has more the awareness to be wrong and the awareness to want to change and whatever, and that's it. Even though that's really high standard, but maybe that's the way to go about it. Who knows?
I don't know. Okay, that's my struggle, y'all. The struggle of looking for a home. That's the name of the episode.
All right. See, I told you it was going to be about you. It's already an hour 10. All right. Hope you guys found this interesting and different. And it's a real conversation. Um,
I hate it here. I fucking hate it here. Literally,
well,
like, I am putting my life out there, and it's something that I'm so not used to. People that follow me on social media can tell you because I don't post shit about myself like that.
mhm.
So, thank you, Steve.
Is it because you don't want to be too much even in social media?
Oh my God. No, because people don't need to know this thing about me.
Okay. Well, we'll look into another episode of why you protect yourself by keeping people out. What have you been hurt by other shit that you want to keep
I
people away?
don't keep people out. I don't keep you.
Mindful podcast living at gmail.com. That'll be for the next episode on why Norma doesn't like people going to her Instagram and she feels like she needs to protect her privacy. Uh,
Yes,
take
I do.
care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.